What's up, y'all? Wait for Derek to get in here, and then we'll get this thing rolling. What's up, guy?
My guys are, oh man. Is that what I
You
think
know it.
it is?
You know it.
oh, oh, man.
Coop.
Get him out of
Let's
here. Get
go,
him
Coop.
out of here.
Hey. It's a Maine jersey, okay? It's not a Dookie jersey. There's zero chance that a Dookie jersey touches this body. However, the Maine one, I'm all over that. I gotta support my guy, Coop. Gotta support the local
I'm
kid.
glad it, well, I'm hometown repping too.
All right, see? So,
Hometown repping too for the girls. But,
yeah.
no, I'm glad
True.
that I'm glad it, was delivered in time.
It's a little big. So we might make some alterations here,
I
but
see yeah, you got the hoodie on underneath, so.
yeah, it's not it's you know how like the jerseys are where like you order a size up just because you don't want the shit like tight to your
Yeah, of
body,
course, yeah.
but the fucking like the underarms are just like hanging there and it makes you look I don't know. I hate that. I like when like the under is like
Yeah,
tight.
you wanna be able to wear it either with a hoodie or in the
Without
summertime
like with the
with it.
hoodie, it looks fine.
Yeah,
Like it looks chill.
yeah.
But like the minute I take the hoodie off, it's like a balloon. So that's what you get from buying it from China. But it is what it is.
Hey man,
We'll
maybe
we'll
not much
grab.
longer.
I'll grab another one. Like I said, it's hoodie season, and the Final Four, and obviously April. It usually stays hoodie season, so I'll keep it for now, and then for the summertime, I'll get the one that actually fucking fits. But
Yeah, it's definitely still hoodie season for sure.
facts. Like we just dipped. We went from nice weather last week and like a almost perfect weekend to this, like right back to winter. It's like, come on, man. Like, give me a break.
Yeah, it's been absolutely ridiculous with the weather, but
But
what
yeah,
can you
let's.
do, right? New England.
It's New
I
England.
guess Maine is a part of New England now.
It's always a part of New England. Stop that. It's a forgotten state, like way up in
Because
you go there for
because
vacation
Cooper Flagg is the reason why Maine is
and and Portland Sea Dogs and the Maine Celtics. They got
okay.
some shit going for
Okay.
them.
Okay.
Like again,
Okay.
listen, Maine
All right.
isn't.
All
I'm
right.
not saying it's like when people think of New England, they think of Maine, but when you like break it down a couple times, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right, Maine's there, and oh yeah, they have lobsters there, and oh yeah, it's they got some lakes like Sebago, phenomenal vacation spot. Um,
I've
Portland, I've never been to Portland, but I've heard it's like really nice, and it's the nightlife is really nice, so I'll check that out. Um, but yeah, so
I've
gotta do.
honestly
I don't know where he's
uh
from.
I've honestly never gotten the privilege to enjoy Maine how I always anticipated. I wanted to go to Saco in college, never did.
Yep.
But I lived vigorously through all of my boys
Yep.
and their times and their stories.
Uh,
And then actually, I booked an Airbnb for me and Christina's baby moon,
no
um,
shit.
which was somewhere. It's somewhere in a very secluded 3.5 hours away. A dope little like cabin. I mean, it didn't even have running water. As
Jeez.
far as the toilet, it did have a shower.
Okay.
But as far as the
Hey,
toilet, they
hey,
didn't have
listen.
running
As
water.
long
But
as you got somewhere to shit and somewhere to shower,
facts. So,
works. And
but
somewhere
it
to
was,
lay your head.
I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, so that was a Friday. So we booked the Airbnb for Friday to leave
Hmm. Of
Sunday. Um, and Saturday morning, I didn't have any service, but I
course.
got a voicemail from Mass General because
Oh no.
we had her appointment on that Friday and we left from there.
Yep.
Um, and then it was like kind of like a, you know, you should definitely come in.
Yeah.
So we were just like, fuck it. We went back
Yeah.
home, another 3.5 hours to the hospital. Saturday, chilled on Sunday, had an appointment on Monday morning, and Tony was delivered Monday
See?
night. Tom Brady, 820 against the New York Football Giants. So
See? So you have some main connection
I got a
in your
main
life.
story for sure.
So I honestly don't. So sorry, Coop. I had nothing on Maine. I just, supporting you because you are from New England. Unfortunately, you're on my most hated college basketball team, but it is what it is. Shit happens. Um, but yeah, speaking of college basketball, March Madness, as everybody knows, started this past weekend or Thursday, last Thursday. So technically, kind of weekendish.
Fell into it, yeah.
Wish. And they call it March Madness, but wasn't much madness, in my opinion, this year. There was, a couple. They had a couple. Some of the games were really close, but it just didn't have that gut, like that extra force behind it. Like there's no
No,
Cinderellas. There was no
yeah.
13s winning. There was no 14s winning. There was no 2-15
When
upset.
you
You
have the
know,
biggest story being whether a player traveled or not,
oh,
going into the try and figure out if going making it to the Sweet 16, that's how you know you're having a down year.
mm-hmm. And it's just like you wait all year. Well, you wait the whole year after Madness is over for the next one because you're just so pumped at what's going to happen next. Who's the next, St. Peter's? Who's the next George Mason? And you don't have it this year. And
No,
it's like, it's very chalky. Um, Colorado State with a great effort
yeah,
last night. Get
yeah,
into, I'm jumping up and down, but like, just to name a few, like Colorado State had a run and they're 3.6 seconds away from making it to the Sweet 16 as a 12. You had what? Arkansas is in it as a 10. But it's the magic. It's that team that you didn't think of. Like I said, like Lipscomb against Iowa State.
yeah.
That didn't fucking happen. like, uh, it just, it doesn't have it. I love it. I love the tournament. I'll always watch it, and I wanted to go to Providence, obviously, since it was close. But you I'm kind of glad we didn't, just
Yeah,
because so McNeese. I'll give props to McNeese. They knocked off Clemson, which Clemson was a really big um, favorite to go to at least
for
the
sure.
Sweet 16. Some
Yeah.
brackets said they, what's his name? Dude on CBS, and it's really slipping my brain right now. I just had it.
As far as what, the commentators?
Yeah, the guy. Is it Kellogg?
Yes.
Clark Kellogg. He had Clemson in the Final Four.
Okay.
So like they were picked to go pretty far, even though they were down their point guard. And damn, McNeese went,
Yeah.
gave him the
That
Matoma.
was probably, I would say that's probably the biggest upset
I'd
of
say so.
round
That
of
and
thus far.
so like I don't even so Colorado State beat Memphis, but like I said on our last show, Memphis
Yeah.
just
So
doesn't.
yeah,
They don't have it,
you called that one for sure. Yeah. I mean,
and I hate
I
it.
yeah, I thought that in that
It's
game. Now you
just a Celtic.
obviously you were. Oh, it's okay, bro. I broke dry March
Oh no,
last
no, no,
Thursday.
I'm not. I'm just saying it's just
I I
it.
broke. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but you
been
have a
it's been
reason to
rough.
break that,
It's
so
been it's been a little
you're
rough.
accept you're accepted to do that.
So
But
cheers to you, my friend, on the
cheers to
seltzer.
you. Cheers to you. Keep
I love a raspberry lime polar.
it's not my favorite. It's the one that I grabbed. It was just the first one in the fridge, and I was like, all right, I need that.
Not your
Dude,
favorite? What's your
no,
favorite seltzer?
the polar seltzer,
Yeah,
orange. Dude, it's just like drinking orange soda without the sugar and all the
I
bullshit.
can. I'll say I can agree. I love the
Dude,
raspberry lime.
so that's fine. Like I'm not saying I hate it. I'm obviously drinking it, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
you put a blindfold on, and you put orange soda and the polar seltzer orange in front of you. Obviously, there's the little sweetness in there that's not there with the polar, but
Of course.
it'll be difficult at the start. You'd be like, wait a minute, is that the polar? No, no, that's ours. No, that's you'll have. It won't be like a, you know what I mean? But it's that's hands down my favorite. That one, a lot of good ones, and they always mix very, very well with rum. So
Well, yeah, I
that's
know
what I
you.
usually use it
I know you'll put me
for.
on for sure.
But
But yeah,
anyway,
back to Memphis and Colorado State. It's so you definitely yeah, you definitely hit the nail with that one. I I thought for sure that Penny would have at least made it out of the first round because it was a big deal that you know when he became the coach.
mm-hmm.
Um, I believe it was very unfortunate. Uh, everything that transpired with Mikey, um, and his off the court issues,
Yeah.
and then obviously not ending up with Memphis, and then finding his way to still be Division One with UCF.
And relevant.
Just he shows how talented he is. I mean, I saw him in person when they came up for the Hoop Hall Classic in Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I was fault,
I keep
I
forgetting
thought for sure,
about that.
that he was going to be the next big thing,
Something.
and hopefully he ends up
There's
becoming
still,
professional
yeah,
at some point.
yeah.
But obviously, let this be a lesson for all the young kids out there.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop. You're not bigger than
No.
the sport, and the sport always will have somebody uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to replace
Mm-hmm.
you. But in regards to Memphis, I thought for sure that this would have been Penny's year to at least get over the hump. But I mean, you watch more Colorado State than I have, and I will say that I am
Not really.
very upset that they lost in the
Last night.
fashion that like they had to have lost that way last night because they wouldn't have lost if it went to overtime.
No.
I don't believe
And I
I don't
had
believe
Maryland in
that
my
Maryland.
bracket, so I was
Yeah,
like, please, like, just hit the shot. Like, that's what sucks. So that's my point too. It's like that's the shitty part about filling out a bracket too, where it's like I was rooting for Maryland for bracket purposes because I want to win some cash or whatever the prize is in one of them I'm in. Um, but I wanted the upset.
yeah,
But you're right. Like
exactly.
if it went to overtime, Colorado State was winning that game. That's why I was
Absolutely.
like, please shoot the three to make Maryland have to make this shot. So when Colorado State hit that three, I'm like, you know what? Perfect. Because this is it. Obviously, barring a foul and they miss, one out of the two. But
For
I'm like,
sure.
this is it. Because if it goes to overtime, Colorado State's just taking over. And what a shot, man. Queen, whew, ice water. Like Bill Raftery. I was just hearing echoes of onions,
Onions,
just in my
onions,
head, like onions,
onions.
like just and see, you don't. It's
You
the
wish there was more of
aura.
it. You wish there was
I
more of it.
just wish
Um,
that was more of the tournament this year because it's in the past. That's where we had. I don't. So yeah. So if 13 doesn't beat a 4, fine. But I want the game to be like holy shit, they might, and then pull up at the end. You didn't even get that.
no.
A lot of those games are blowouts, and it's just like you're just sitting here like,
So let
like
me
go ahead.
look before you
Yeah,
go any further. I just want
yeah.
to just so that we can get it out of the way. Travel.
Where?
You
Which
think
one?
you think Queen travel?
He took a very, very large step.
Interesting. So
He took a very large step.
in real time,
No,
is that what? Okay.
you don't call that in real time.
No. Yeah.
If you
Okay.
have to, no, I'm not even going to go there. No,
Yeah. I
no,
mean, it was
not true.
reviewed. It was reviewed. Um.
For the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't.
But
You don't.
even if it was as blatant as it was, I think that
got to be
they're
egregious though. It's got to be like, holy shit, the dude just is a running back. He took the ball and just run it.
yeah
Like you can't call that as long if it's just so egregious that you're forced to make the call. Yeah, but
on the
in the tournament,
laundry list of no call travels.
oh, then the officiating man in this tournament
I
has
know.
been fucking
Yeah.
horrendous. Like I get it. I used to. I mean, this is nowhere near the stage that they have to deal with. But as we both know, reffing in SYL, like, that was a pain in the
For
ass.
sure.
Like,
Absolutely.
so
You got a
like
bunch of
I get it.
you got a bunch of regular guys or regular kids that are playing later on in the day,
Hmm.
refereeing the younger kids, and
Hmm.
then you gotta pick of the litter. Sometimes parents,
Yep.
you
Oh,
know.
dude, the worst.
So
Like, and you're so close. You were so close in some of Ohio where it's like, mm.
yeah,
But even so, um, with reffing too, you're right. You had to ref like, and this is what it was called back then, people. So when I say these words, don't fucking get butthurt. But you were refing the squirts.
yeah,
You were refing the midgets.
yeah.
And I forget the third one. Um, whatever the whatever the third one was. Somebody in here that's played SYL help me out. Um,
Damn, bro.
I
Like
forget.
I didn't
I know.
honestly I didn't know where you were going, so
But
I
even
would
so,
have probably prepared
so
myself.
you had to ref like one of those games.
Juniors?
Maybe June. No, juniors was well, maybe. No, yeah, maybe it was juniors because wasn't the top league was seniors, right? I forget. Tell me.
Wow. That's
We'll figure that one
yeah,
out.
we'll definitely
But
circle back on that for sure.
but you had to ref these games and then play against these
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
later on. So you were refing a game. First of all, you were refing a game at what? Fucking eight
Eight
thirty in the morning.
8 in the morning.
So you were refing these games on like no sleep because you were up all night playing fucking Xbox or PlayStation or doing whatever the hell you
On
were
top of
doing.
being excited as hell that it's Friday night and
Facts,
SYL's in the morning.
facts. And then you ref these games and you're like half asleep. Yep, foul. No, 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 sorry, no foul. Like then you have people barking at you. I gave it up. I was just like, it was too much. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I get bitch from you. I get bitching from you. It was pointless. But yeah, so I don't envy them. But you're there for a reason.
Yeah.
You're there to ref these games and
I had a buddy that was
do
at
better.
I had a buddy, shout out to C's. He's the head coach of Chelsea High boys basketball. He was he shared his frustrations online in
Yep.
regards to the Arkansas St.
Oh
John's game.
man.
And I reached out to him and I'm like, listen, it's terrible watching this live on TV. I can't
Hmm.
even imagine being there and spending money to go
That's
there.
what I mean.
And it's
I'm
like,
glad we didn't. I'm kind of glad we didn't go. I would have
cause
been
like
like,
it's
what am
just
I?
you got two premier and granted, you know, everything that transpired as far as St. John's, you know, you always think like as a fan, like if you're planning on going somewhere
Yeah.
to a sporting event, but then you it doesn't end up happening, then you watch it at home. You
Yep.
always have that thought in your mind that's like, damn, what if I went? Would I have changed the aura a little bit, or like would it be the same? Like you always think that you
Every
have that power.
single
You feel like you
time.
have that power, right?
Every
So I'm
single time.
I'm
Yep.
watching this game and I'm like, and then I see that I was like, damn, like I didn't even reach out to anybody else except for you to try and like really go
Yeah.
and really try and make this happen. Um, but it's like, damn, like imagine if we went there, like, and it transpired the way that it did, I would have been pissed.
I'd have
St.
been
John's,
pissed.
it's like you don't ever want to play a game like that, but you certainly don't want to play a game like that in the tournament. You
No.
know, where
And
your best player just shits the bed. Like, I don't even want to say like pisses down his leg because like it it happens, but it's like,
damn. Yeah.
damn,
Uh-huh.
not today. Today?
Save that for the Big East tournament, or save that for something else. Save it for the regular season
Yeah,
game
save
in
it
like
for your
mid-December
first
when nobody
rival
gives a
game or
shit.
something like, yeah.
Don't do that in the NCAA tournament. And that's what sucks. And yeah, that's why the product is down. That's why I was like, I was even contemplating going to Newark this weekend if we'll say Coop. So I'm not saying the word. If Coop won on Thursday, but like do I want to go all the way down there to potentially see a game get altered the way it's gone, and to spend as much money as it like that they're asking for? Like
Yeah.
cheapest ticket last time I saw for Saturday, which would be the Elite Eight, um, $400 just to get in the Prudential Center. It's like, first of all, it's in Newark.
Yeah.
What the hell is in Newark? Like
Facts.
New Jersey, and here we go. I'm sure some people, but like it's the armpit of America. It stinks. I have no bleh when it comes to New Jersey, but it's a good game. It'll be it either way, because I think. Well, we'll make the picks later, but I'm feeling that Coop is going to be playing a couple games here this weekend, and it'll be awesome to see him live playing in college before he gets to the NBA. Like you said, the experience gets taken away because of the refs, because of the expensiveness of the games. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Charging $400 to get into an Elite Eight game? Like, I know, I get it. It's a playoff game, and
You
I've
would think
dropped.
that these people are the ones that are paying for the NIL fund
That's
almost.
exactly, and that'll bring us right into the next point of why that this tournament is kind of lopsided. And you and I have discussed this at length, off camera. Basically every time we watch a game, but it's does the NAL and does the transfer portal have something to do with this? I say yes. I mean,
Yeah,
because
there's
you
no
you
question.
you
I think.
can't. How can you say no? Like
Yeah,
how?
I don't think that there's any. I haven't seen anybody that has been passionate enough within their answer to give me a legitimate reason to think otherwise, even if I wanted to. I mean,
It's
yeah,
wild to think that you wouldn't say it is
of
because
the stigma that it had. Think about the stigma of college players being paid as a sentence
hmm
had a year and a half ago.
hmm
This is basketball. We saw it in football. So it's not even a year yet. So
Yep.
let's go to a year. Let's just say like a little less than 10 months.
Yep.
It's like, you know, what a, obviously like it was an argument. Oh, yeah, they should be paid. I mean, why wouldn't they? That you guys are making this is a multi-million-dollar industry, and these kids are, we're hearing stories about kids barely eating. Some of these kids have families they got to provide, and they're
It's
risking their whole lives.
yeah.
They're putting their life on the line in regards to football.
Right.
But
And
they're still
granted,
college
right.
athletes.
And granted, you don't with college basketball, it is a little bit different, but you can't sit there and tell me that the first time the NCAA tournament is kind of chalky, like really chalky. Like this is unusually chalky that this doesn't have something to
For
fucking do
sure.
with it. And it kind
Absolutely.
of and so that's why I don't know where I stand on it now, because it's taking away the Cinderella, the fun out of the
Yeah,
tournament.
the
What this
excitement,
tournament
yeah.
is made for is to see teams like George Mason beat teams like Duke, or just out of the box teams, a team you've never heard about ever. Like you said, was the one UNC Wilmington, fucking Seahawks against Texas Tech, and they gave them a run. They gave them a run. run for their money, but it just wasn't, that magic wasn't there. And like a lot of the games that I've watched, the magic just wasn't really there. I didn't think that they were going to, even Michigan, when Michigan played UC San Diego, that
Yeah.
was tremendous comeback by the Tritons. But I'll be honest with you, there wasn't, even when they were coming back, even when they took the lead with whatever, a minute to go, and I had Michigan in the game,
Of
both
course,
in my
yeah.
bracket and in a parlay. I swear to God, I was not worried. I was like, Michigan's got this. Like, they've got size, they've got shooters. Like, it just puts you at a disadvantage, and it takes away the purity and the funness of the tournament.
The
It got
bracket,
better.
yeah, the bracket as it stands, even though there are no more perfect brackets,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like you starting to see like, okay, now I'm not an analytical person by any stretch of the definition, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I would say within the next 10 years, with the NIL and everything and the transfer portal, somebody's going to come fucking close to getting a perfect bracket. Because the bracket is not like far off.
No,
It's
and
it's just
yeah,
it's
it's not.
playing out to the seeding.
Mm-hmm.
So like obviously the teams that got upset, they got to go back to the drawing board,
Right.
but it probably won't be hard for those teams.
No,
You know,
not really. Like Clemson.
you got the
Yep.
boosters, exactly. You know,
Clemson was down their guard. If they had him, they probably
game over.
would have beat him. If Iowa State had their guard, even though they got waxed last night, because Ole Miss is on a
Yeah,
run.
Ole
But
Miss is
if Carolina played anything like Carolina should, they would have been there. But anyway, we'll have a whole show about Carolina.
but
Pathetic.
it's just you see how
Yeah.
like everything is like what do we got? We got and I'm not trying to jump the gun, but
No.
like in all seriousness, the highest ranked team left is Arkansas at 10, and they're not only a SEC team, which broke a record
It's taking over
for
the tournament,
you know,
which sucks.
but they also have Coach Cal. Like, let's be real here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
their number 10 isn't really number 10.
No,
Like,
they're
if
not a
you would
10 seed. No.
exactly, if you were to rank all of these teams from 1 to 64,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
They're in the middle.
you know what I mean? It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's just no way.
No.
Like
No.
and I'm not saying that Arkansas is about to win the national championship,
Somebody
but
did,
we
in
got
fact.
1-5, 1-4, 6-2, 6-2, 1-4, 1-4, 3-10, 3-2.
But see, and even just rattling off those numbers, you're just like, ugh. You remember the
It's like
years?
them, like the best.
Remember the Davidson years, the Steph Curry? You had 4, 5, 6 double-digit seeds in the latter part of the tournament. You had George Mason in the Final Four one year. You had NC State as far as last year, coming out of the first four.
Florida Gulf Coast with the Lob
Florida
City.
Gulf Dunk City. But like NC State made it to the Final Four last year as a first 11th seed. You're saying a year removed that they just all of a sudden these teams don't, it just clicks, it just goes away, like that they don't. There's no more magic. Bullshit. It's the transfer portal. It's
Absolutely.
because the
And
talent isn't there. The talent is buried in.
hold on.
Dude, I know we're both Heels fans, and there's a little portion to this. We'll get into this in a little bit. But just to say, just as watching it and just looking at the teams overall, the Blue Devils are stacked. from 1 to 5. I don't know how any team can compete with that. Even Auburn. Like, they are just loaded. You're telling me that the transfer portal and the NIL and all this shit didn't have anything to do with Durham getting loaded? Pause. Like, come on. And again, it takes away from the beauty of what March Madness is, and it kind of sucks because you just rattled off the numbers. There's one double-digit seed,
Just one.
and they're not even a double-digit seed. They're a fringe double-digit seed. They're 10. Like, and like you said, Coach Cal, Arkansas in the best conference in college basketball this season. So it's not really like they came out of nowhere.
And the funny thing is, like you mentioned NC State, right?
Yep.
So like it just it blows my mind because NC State, Trey Parker went to NC State, who was Mikey Williams' teammate in high school.
Mm-hmm.
True freshman from North Carolina. Like what you say? Like for anybody to argue that the NIL doesn't have anything to do with it, like since
Yeah, no,
when does a true freshman point guard or shooting guard or guard not play or name isn't ringing bells in all of college sports from the state?
you are just spot on. You hit that one on the head. Like,
So,
yeah,
like something is wrong,
it's
like drastically wrong. Like we're talking about one and done guys. We're talking about somebody that should be in the NBA draft next year.
you know what's funny? The commercial with Blake Griffin, the podcast
Yes,
commercial that's on.
it is a phenomenal
Great
commercial. Yeah,
commercial, but it kind of sums up March
for sure.
Madness because you remember in the commercial he says somebody that nobody knows is going to be a household name this year, and the other guy's like, "Oh, absolutely, facts, yeah." Who?
No,
There's no household name. There's no Sorrentine from the parking lot from Gus Johnson with Vermont. There's no the kid. I forget his name right now, but the kid from Oakland last year when they topped Kentucky.
oh yeah, wow.
The dude that just kept raining threes. I completely forget his name, and I'm sorry, pal. But that dude, like, you just have guys on teams that just stick out for March Madness, and it's like you have guys you've known all along
It doesn't
in this
have
whole
the
tournament.
magic. There's no
No,
magic. There's
there's
no
no
there's
spark.
nobody like everybody puts a bracket in, and nobody's putting $100 on their bracket to win. But it's just you're doing it because
It's
you know
fun.
if you enter the 10 brackets ESPN gives you, like think about it. These guys are offering you 10 brackets
Mm-hmm.
because it's so impossible.
Oh yeah,
One in 145 quintillion. Is that the number?
I think so.
Like what? Even Christina, she's talking to me because she heard it. She heard that stat, and she's like, "So this is like really a thing?" And I'm like, "Every year." And everybody that put one in, you better believe, is like this.
Oh
That's why
yeah,
that's what makes it, because some people, even though there's no perfect bracket,
so people
look at
think they have one.
last year, right? Imagine who knows, Virginia, number one seed, losing to a 16 seed? Like, imagine the people that got that right? They're like,
Mm-hmm.
holy
That was
shit.
Albany, wasn't it?
Even just getting it right
Yeah.
is like, gives you that boot. You know, you're not winning $1 billion, but it's like even just getting that correct is enough to be like, yeah, like
Fairleigh
this is what
Dickinson
it's all about.
beating Purdue when Purdue was favored to win the whole
Favorite
damn
to win
thing that
the
year. It was
ship
2023. They had Edie.
to win the chip.
And they got bounced in the first round by a team that
and they turned the ball over on their chance to possibly win the game.
Mm-hmm. But see, that's the thing. The 116 game was competitive. Granted, yeah, three out of the four are usually not, but you at least have one that's at least the 16 hangs around for a half. For Christ's sake,
Exactly.
Duke,
whether it's mismatch or coaching. I mean, look at Shaka Smart.
Oh my God, the the absolute pathetic play by Marquette all around. It drove me insane. I'm like, there's so many teams in this tournament that I'm like, how the fuck did you get in this?
Yeah.
How did you get? First of all, how did you win your conference? Some of them, and second of all, how are you good enough to play in this? Marquette, are you shitting me? The way that they played. And another thing I want to mention in this tournament alone, I'm gonna start counting from the Sweet 16 on. And you think I'm crazy? You think I'm lying? I'm gonna. There's been so many missed layups in this tournament. I don't understand it. I'm like, wait a minute. You're good enough to make this team, but you can't hit a fucking layup. So many missed layups.
There's a lot.
Easy. And I'm not talking about contested
Yeah.
layups either. I'm talking about bunnies. I'm talking about right there. The ball, all you got to do is go, and there it is. Two. No, that off the rim. Some dude airballed the layup. I'm like, we're joking. We're joking, right? Like, come on.
The play has been
Horrible.
The play has been terrible, yeah. And
awful. The only team, there's two. There's the two teams that I can say have stepped onto the court, and each game they've played so far has been, yeah, we're here, and we're trying to bulldoze our way through this fucking thing. Fortunately, one of them is Coop. And I'll go as far as to say the other team is Houston.
Okay. All right.
Because Gonzaga shouldn't have been an 8. They're good enough to be a higher seed. That was a very competitive game. And yes, they let Gonzaga back in the game. They did almost lose the game. But for a good amount of that game, Houston had it. And I think they just let their foot off the gas a little bit. But there was barely any missed layups in that one. There wasn't any stupid shots. There was just pure basketball where Gonzaga was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just try and come back in this one. And Houston kind of was like, Houston pulled the Celtics where they're just like, oh, we're up 16, 18.
Yeah.
Let's kind of back off. And then, what happens. But they survived. March is about surviving.
It almost makes you it sucks, right? Because that Houston is more than likely Houston has to play Duke in order to go to the championship.
Yep.
So the Final Four, hopefully, is magical.
You hope.
Because
you hope the games are immaculate.
Of course.
They should
be, right? But even I'll bounce to because Duke is a 1 seed, Houston's a 1 seed. Obviously, the way that it's trending,
Chalk.
Duke and
which
Houston,
is a phenomenal matchup.
Of course, we would love to see it, but we would love to see it for all the marbles, right?
Yeah.
I thought Florida was legitimate. I thought Florida was legitimate, but I will say they're not.
They can't hit a free throw to save their lives.
They expose themselves, and unfortunately, the longer you go and make this tournament, the easier it is to coach because now you have film on these teams that you can crunch. You try your best with your whole coaching staff and your
Mm-hmm.
analytic team
Mm-hmm.
to just crunch everything in a day
Yep.
or two,
Yep.
up all the way up until tip off. And even at
Yep.
halftime, it's like, okay, you have enough. It's like you have the privilege and ability to make something happen and expose the teams that you may see in the
Like, yeah.
very near
Yep.
future. Um,
Man.
I at the beginning of the game, even before tip off, UConn and Florida,
Mm-hmm.
there I thought Florida stood no chance. And I mean, excuse me,
Gone.
UConn stood no chance, and Florida was on. I believe either like a maybe an 8, maybe 12-0 run to start the game, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, of course,
Right.
because
Right.
and of like who I'd be lying if I say I didn't want to see UConn at least fight for a three-peat. But again, back to our previous point, a back-to-back UConn championship team with the
Same head coach.
hottest coach in all of college football. I
That
mean
dude.
basketball.
Hurley's got to chill.
In in the sense of on fire.
Yo, yeah. That dude. I can't imagine if he had one of these on. What
Doesn't
the thing would just
have
break.
doesn't have NIL to obtain the likes of a three-peat. Like there's an issue here. What
Mm-hmm.
like it's
Mm-hmm.
not like Florida back in the day where it's like they had the same roster
Oh,
and they're going back
yeah. The
to
double,
back.
the back to back.
Everybody's a junior. Oh, they're coming back for their
Right.
senior year. Oh, back to back, boom, and then they're going to the draft.
Yeah.
Like this is a legitimate program, one of the greatest programs in college basketball history in its entirety,
Yep.
and an eighth seed, no top recruit, no dominant freshman, no
Nope.
no dominant transfers in the transfer portal. Like
Nope.
it's like, how much money are these kids getting offered to not only be able to not go to these prestigious universities,
Mm-hmm.
legendary universities, to continue and carry on these said
Mm-hmm.
legacies, but like to not like what is going on? These
It's sad.
guys are transferring in the middle of a season.
Yeah.
Coaches in prep. You look, think about before, during the season, how many college basketball coaches went viral because of statements they've made based on the domino effect of the NIL.
Yep. Too many.
Like way too
Mm-hmm.
many, and Hurley's one of them. So
Yep.
it's like, damn,
It's
like,
I'm
and
telling you, it's just taking
I'm
away.
not, and this is Sweet 16, and I'm not trying to discredit Duke. Obviously, Duke, Arizona. Uh,
Rematch of an earlier season
I'm
game.
not really gonna say Bama because they're not.
You know who the
This
biggest
isn't their lane.
surprise? Honestly, you know what the biggest surprise in the Sweet 16 is? BYU,
I was gonna say, like,
a 6. That's your biggest surprise in the Sweet 16.
and, and right after them is Maryland
And Maryland.
as a 4.
Yep,
Nobody had them this far.
I did.
But it's like,
But no, I get like there was a lot of people that picked that 12-4 upset last night because you expect it. What did we say last show? Only one since the first 4 started. Only one time there hasn't been a team that's come out of there that's won at least one game. Multiple times, teams out of the first four have made it to the Sweet 16 and farther. And as we just said, NC State last year was in the first four and made it all the way to the Final Four. That didn't happen this year.
No.
North Carolina, I won't even credit the comeback because, like you said,
No.
but we would go, our text back and forth on Friday was just like, I don't even want this to happen.
No.
Like, why does it take you getting down 26 points or 24, whatever the hell it was, for you to just wake up? Regardless. North Carolina didn't belong in the tournament to start. Gone. Xavier, gone. And obviously the 216s, gone. Didn't really even stand a chance. Illinois took out Xavier. Carolina, yeah, they had the cute little comeback there, and they just showed their true colors and just shit down their pants in the waning seconds against Ole Miss. So, like, even the first four, when you look for the magic in the bracket, it's not there. It's just not there this year. And another reason why I picked, who I picked to go all the way, because it's laid out. It's the team with the most talent, and that's the team with the most talent. But
and just to cut you off real quick,
yeah.
Before,
How dare
right?
you?
Before, we used to be excited to say, "Oh, they got the best recruiting class." Oh, whatever. Somebody's gonna. We couldn't wait until March.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't wait until
Yep.
March because, yeah, y'all gonna get exposed somehow, some way by somebody you don't even have. You're not even. You won't even have enough time to really scout them.
Lehigh beating Duke. Mercer. People forget Duke lost to Mercer.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, they did.
When the fuck does that happen?
In
Can you
in March.
imagine if this Duke team played Mercer in this tournament?
It would be like women's UConn.
It would have been like the final score would have been like 87-32.
They would have scored 100 points.
I'm just sure. Okay, yeah. Well, 109 to 53. How about that? Like, it's pathetic that this is what we've come to, and I'm hoping it doesn't. This is the only year we get this, because I don't want to pick Duke to win the national championship. No. I don't want to do it, but it's just, yeah. So, and speaking of the Dukies, Mike, our question is: Can anybody who is going to challenge them? Because Duke is let's be real for a second. Duke is the clear favorite. Duke is the powerhouse. Duke has, like we said, 1 through 5. They've got Coop, Malawatch. I didn't realize how versatile Malawatch is. That's a stud right there.
He's a dog.
Nipple, as I like to call him. People call him Knipple. It's Nipple. Come on. Lethal, shooting wise. They've got so many weapons on that team. Even the fucking bench. They even got Frodo there that came in at the end. He can shoot. He can shoot. That dude can shoot. So if they're forced to put him in for whatever friggin' reason, who knows? But so the most complete team are the Blue Devils. Unfortunately, I hate saying that. If Cooper Flagg wasn't on the team, I would not be rooting for them.
Yeah.
Not even rooting for them. Just picking them. Can anybody challenge them?
I mean, like I said earlier, realistically, the only team that can, and dare I say, will, is the University of Houston, and
that's in the Final Four.
Yeah, and that's in the Final Four, and on the biggest stage.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you just hope for a perfect game from both coaches and from both teams, because
Houston
that's
will
what's
definitely
going to be
give them a
expected. I mean, there's going to be a lot of pressure.
yeah.
There's already a lot of pressure. Okay, so I'll just say it right now. There's already a lot of pressure on all of these teams. We got
Yeah.
every single number one is still intact.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what the closest margin was, Florida barely.
Yeah. And they ran
You know,
away with it at the end.
if it wasn't for two
Hmm.
freak free throw rebounds, and
Good,
I mean,
say it.
it's not like UConn got bad shots. They had tremendous looks. No shots were falling.
No.
And then obviously Clayton Jr. with the shot with the just the onions. You I didn't know he was gonna shoot that. I'm watching this game. I'm
No.
watching the game
Yep.
live, and I'm like, wow.
He puts that up, and you're like, what?
And and
Oh.
and shout out to Kenny the Jet Smith, because they were
Always.
they had the post game and the pregame. Um, but he was like, this game is based off who can basically do the impossible in an impossible moment. And if you have a good shot,
Mm-hmm.
if you take
Which he
a
does.
good, if you take a, you always want, in the game of basketball, you always want to take a great shot.
Mm-hmm.
But the opportunities are so slim in this tournament that even if you have a limited percentage of taking a good shot,
Mm-hmm.
because who's gonna say that it's a bad shot if it goes in? Nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody's gonna
Nobody.
say shit.
No.
I had no idea he was about to pull what he pulled, but he did it,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Yeah, that's bad." And not only for that to happen, but then for McNeely
Twice.
to get another tipped, another basketball rebound directly to him, and then physics just doing its thing, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, like that's worse than a turnover,
You knew at that
because
point.
essentially it
It
is. Like,
is. It
you're
is.
not two a play where you should be obtaining possession of the basketball,
Yep.
clear as day, and it
Yep.
just doesn't happen, and it ends up going back to the team that just scored.
And go
It's like,
ahead, say it. I know you're holding it. You said it to me yesterday. You got to say it on the show. Go ahead. Come on
what
now.
what you put me on
Our
the
guy.
spot.
Come on. A certain piece of uniform material.
Oh.
You got to drop that because it's true. It's it's as factual as you'll get. I'll let you
um
have that. I'm not.
I'm
I'm not
I'm
saying
not
it. This is all you.
all right. So I'm not gonna say that that's why they lost the game.
No,
But
but
if I were a teammate of McNeely that looked like me, I would be very, very upset at the fact that this dude pulled up to the game wearing a fucking headband with hockey hair. Like, what are we doing here? Like, we touched on Cooper Flagg all day.
yeah,
Kid's a stud.
yeah,
He got the you know what I
yep,
mean, the little sweat
yep,
dripping with the
yep,
the dirty
yep. The
blonde
little,
glistening on his
yep,
forehead.
yep. I'm not gonna do
Just
it.
throw it
My shit's
back.
all.
Just do your shit.
Yep.
Do your shit, bro. Why are you wearing a headband?
And you remember who used to wear a headband? This guy. There's no way in hell I was stepping on the SYL clay. It wasn't even a court. It was fucking clay.
but
playing like that.
I will say, so to my points in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in our text thread, like you wore your headband for probably a specific
Yeah,
reason.
because
Probably
Paul Pierce wore one, and Paul Pierce was my favorite
exactly.
player at the time,
Paul
and
Pierce.
and Mike Bibby, and that is the other dude. Oh my Jesus! In his later years, he wore one. Jason Williams, white chocolate.
Okay.
That's right.
Uh, Allen Iverson.
Mm.
You know, you name it.
Hmm.
Right. You got these
I had the
guys in the
AI
NBA. Like,
shoes,
of course, of
AI
course,
shoes,
of course.
NBA headband,
You. It's like,
and I played
all
like it.
right, buddy. Like, what is going on here? Like, you can't. Like, if Cooper Flagg, right? If wore a headband, it's like, all right, whatever,
Everybody would be wearing headbands.
whatever. Exactly. Like, you need a. It's like a passage.
You need to have a specific, like, yeah, a right of way. Like
Yeah, like
you need to sign off.
you can't just be okay. Yeah, you're a 19-year-old that got a full ride
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
Yukon. Cool, right? But like, respectfully, with your fucking pasty ass, you're the camera. Listen,
I
I'm
love this.
sure.
I love this.
I said to my group chat, I'm like, yo, because of the plays that transpired with him and the missed
Mm-hmm.
rebounds, he probably wants to unalive himself
He's not
because
doing too hot
I
today.
I could have it was, and I want, like, listen, I'm not rooting for Florida if they're going against UConn. Like, I want UConn to
Yeah.
pull that
Yep.
off just because obviously
Mm-hmm.
New England ties, on the verge
You
of
talk
possibly
about
going.
you talk about though New England and Maine, Connecticut.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
ain't New England.
yeah,
That's New York. But
yeah, yeah,
regardless,
for sure. Majority Yankees fans and Giants, and yeah.
Canada. Yeah. Fill in the blank.
But it's like I'm rooting for them to possibly be in the fight to win three straight because
Yeah.
it's March Madness
And why wouldn't
and
you?
it's never been
And
done
if
before.
exactly, and if Florida lost yesterday, I was obviously rooting for Florida for my bracket. I have them pretty far. Won't reveal where yet. Um, but they mean a lot to my bracket. That's the only fucking reason why I was rooting for them.
Yeah.
I want UConn. And at one point in the game, I'm like, you know what? If Florida's going to play this way, if Florida's going to miss free throw after free throw after free throw, like religiously, step to the line, 1-2, 1-2, 0-2, 1-2. That dude, the center, I think everybody's name is flying out of my head today. It's been a long day. Condon, uh, when he stepped to the line, I was like, all right, here comes a miss.
Legit, spot on.
Like, what the fuck? But even so, you're
Even in
right.
one, even in 1-on-1 situations, that's what made it bad. That's what made it very bad.
But
It's like you're not even in the double bonus, bro. Like,
so many players, and I see it now, and it's something that drove me nuts when we used to play basketball too. Why are you rushing the first shot? Especially with a 1-on-1, because you don't know if you're getting that second shot. You have to make the shot. Take your time. Nobody, and you notice something else too? Nobody spins the ball anymore.
everybody.
I don't see a lot of people like taking a couple dribbles. That was my move. I'd take a couple dribbles and I'd spin it because it gives you like that, you're
It
locked in,
grounds
like you sent,
you. The
it
gravity,
stops,
the gravity
and
of the ball. Yeah,
then
yeah.
bang. They don't spin it.
It's
They get the ball and it's like fucking,
everything.
like, what are you chucking it out there for? It's a free
Everything.
throw.
Everything falls back to the, dare I say, clown and pony show of the NIL. Everybody believes that, and this is an issue that I had prior to NIL.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood why they allowed one and dones in college basketball,
I don't
but
like it either.
but a but a true freshman in college football has
Jeremiah
to
Smith.
stay can't can't go until after their junior season.
I don't. I agree with obviously um, Coop being the number one pick. I don't think he should be able to come out after this year. I think he should have to play at least 2 years.
And especially in a situation where and just I mean it's devil's advocate right here, but it's
Uh-huh.
like it's this isn't my argument that I'm trying to make, but it's like nobody wants Cooper Flagg to be on the fucking Jazz or the fucking Washington Wizards. Like, so now the NBA is either forced to allow that to happen or really show their true colors and showcase how rigged the NBA lottery truly is. And it'd be the last time the NBA lottery is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way
Mm-hmm.
that now Coop reclassed because he didn't want to be in the same class as DeBansta, right?
Yep.
Um I think that it's absolutely foolish of DeBansta to go to BYU out of all places. But when you're talking about $7.5 million to a fucking 18-year-old kid,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who's gonna it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't matter. And I
And
thought about
yeah.
this yesterday. I haven't done the research, but I actually want to look up all of the number one recruits that obviously back in the day they went to these specific schools, the
Yeah.
smaller name schools, because they were getting paid money under the table. The first name that comes to mind is Ben Simmons, right? Going to LSU. Could have went anywhere in the world. The SEC wasn't as dominant and prominent as it was today.
No.
And I'm not going to give him the benefit that he didn't even make the fucking tournament that year, his year.
No.
So for a number one and top recruit to choose a smaller school, a not basketball school, a school that you really have no business going
Mm-hmm.
to, your recruiting trip was not that elite,
No.
especially compared to the Power Five
No.
conferences. Like you're and obviously LSU is Power Five, but like you're telling me that your recruiting trip at LSU was enough to
Sure it was, buddy.
better than Kansas or North Carolina or Duke or Michigan State or Michigan. Like, come on, let's be real
Mm-hmm.
here. Like Arizona, come on, buddy, let's be real here. So,
Oh, you
you know,
you don't you don't you think that it's rigged? You
come on.
think it's rigged?
It was
You
it
you
was
you think these guys didn't get paid before the
it was
NIL?
more fun when it was illegal.
It really was.
It was and this is
Clip
slapping
that.
us. This is slapping us in the face right now. Five fingers to the face. In less than a year, the season's not even over between college back and the good thing of and what I will say though, and I won't get in depth. We can talk about this in another show, but it's not harming women's sports
No.
so much. The women are still staying true to where they want to go, where they recruit, where they
Mm-hmm.
got recruited to,
Mm-hmm.
who really wants them,
Mm-hmm.
building the programs that um,
Oh, you have to
look at
build your
Iowa,
program?
right? Look at Iowa. Iowa's playing today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they won. They were playing
I
Oklahoma.
don't know either. I didn't check
But
it.
even Iowa after Caitlin Clark,
They're still in it.
still a 4 seed is like, yeah, bro, like that. And the coach retired. So
Yeah,
it's like, okay.
they
So
lost.
in that aspect, it's like that'll get thrown into the argument, like, oh well, it's not affecting women's
Ooh,
sports. Are
they
the
got
women,
they got torched.
oh yeah. I could imagine Oklahoma's not to be fucked with,
Yeah, yeah, they got torched.
but when it comes to men's, and obviously this is no shade and no disrespect to the women at all. But the men just obviously bring in more money, and
Yeah.
they it's showing its true colors. Like the women and their loyalty. And good for them. I'm glad that all of these women are getting the money that they rightfully
Some of
deserve,
the
while
kids are
also
better.
staying true. But for the men, it's like the Bamster has no business going to BYU. But if he's getting $7.5 million, everybody's going to BYU. So Coop going to Duke
Ugh.
and reclassing
Like,
just so he's
why?
not in the same class as this kid
Yeah.
to
Why did?
not and it kind of backfiring because it's like,
Yeah.
damn dog, like nobody
Yeah.
wants to see you on, because who knows who's gonna have the number one pick next year, right? Because say DeBamster has a year like
Right.
Coop, obviously he's one and done, but who like who know like what team does he fall on? And it's like, I, do I think that I don't now I'm not gonna sit here and compare the two, but I just wish they both were in a position where it's like they went to a marketable place,
Absolutely.
like you and like Utah, like let's be real,
There's not. What do you mean? There's so much to do in Utah. So much to do in Provo.
like like Dwayne Wade is a partial owner,
Hmm.
like that's about it, and then Washington, like come on, dude.
Hmm.
You're gonna be you
You're
gotta
gonna
the East
get
is a
buried on the
the
fucking
East is a
Wizards
the East is a
or the
beast.
Jazz or the Pelican. Just these just god awful effing teams in the NBA. And his true talent, because like we said, Coop is by far the best player in the tournament, best player in college basketball, a generational talent. Um, yeah, he definitely.
Something drastic has to happen, and either the NBA either he stays
Yep,
another year.
which would completely that would. Can you imagine these
Shake the
teams right
room.
now tanking for the rights to Cooper Flag, and he's like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna chill at Duke one more year. It's like
Yeah, but fuck them though. Shame on
that'd be
them.
funny. That'd be funny.
Shame
No,
on
no,
them
no.
for tanking
I hope it happens
for
because I
sure.
hate the fact that you do that shit.
I don't want to see this kid on
I don't
Utah, or
either.
if he goes to Utah, I'm never gonna watch him play because I'm not staying up at 10:30 until 10:30 to watch
Fair.
Utah get flamed
I
by anybody.
might watch the
And
first half just to watch
maybe
him, and then
and I'm not watching him play on the Wizards with any
although
fucking body.
although it's not a far trip from Boston
For sure, yeah. I
when
mean,
it goes to your run.
hey, that's the only thing about it. And obviously going to the Garden, and
Oh, I would
you know,
both games,
of
both times
course,
he's here. No question
of
about it.
course.
No questions asked. I'm in there
You know what I mean?
seeing my guy.
Just seeing that happen for his family, because
His
obviously watching the tournament, you
family's great.
see love his mother.
Oh my god.
Like she's incredible,
Yep.
and she's a C's fan.
Oh yeah, they're all
So it's
Celtics
like I
fans.
want to see like I would hopefully I cross paths with her to let her know and congratulate her and all that, because it's like, of course, if you're obviously you're the Maine, you're from Maine, obviously the Maine
Celtics.
Celtics in there, she clearly knows who the Lobsters were.
Yeah.
So and then obviously the Celtics, 80s, going to being able to watch Larry Bird live, like.
But the minute Cooper Flagg said that he watched old time Celtics games and he watched Larry Bird
Yeah, and
when
in the
he came out
transition
with that, I was
transition
like,
with no dribbles, just passing, where I saw that,
dude, this kid. uh, Why I'm supporting him? First of all, you have to. It's your region. Obviously, it's not our hometown. It's fucking Maine, but like the region, you got to support your guys. But we teased it in the story, and you already know it's coming. There's a way for Cooper Flagg and his family, and this is perfect. You without creating it, you created it. The in for this. There's a way for Coop, the Flagg family, and everybody to get their lifelong dream. Ready? We'll do it. We'll do it one more time. We'll do it one more time. There's a way. And credit to Cerrone Battle on 98.5 The Sports Hub as well. Without saying it, I literally texted you and a couple others at the same time, or like a minute after he posted on Twitter. I, as a diehard, lifelong Boston Celtics fan since I was, 6, 7, the Ron Mercer, Antoine Walker days. I'm just saying because people are going to be mad at me for what I'm about to say, and people have already got mad at me for what I've said. But trust me, I know ball. Chauncey Billups. So I remember Chauncey Billups on the Celtics. Okay,
I have the card. I'm pretty sure.
I think I do too. I remember Milt Palacio on the Celtics when he stole the inbound pass and hucked it from half court and beat the New Jersey Nets. Okay. Andrew DeClerc, Travis Knight, Purvis Ellison. All right? Let's relax, people, about calling out my Celtics fandom.
Keep going.
I live and breathe the Boston Celtics. There's a way for Cooper Flagg to get on the Celtics.
I'm going to write it down.
Please do. Well. I know it's not going to happen, you idiots out there. They're like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? You're fucking crazy. I already know this isn't going to happen, but it's called sports talk, and it's called debating. And I'm sure you're here for this one because, damn, do I want this one bad. I would trade Jaylen Brown. I've been going back and forth on Drew Holiday because I really think he's having just a shitty year because of the injury. I love him. I love his play when he's out there. He does look like a step behind. So if I have to include him in the deal,
you do.
Then I'm going to. So Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, and throw in whatever the hell else you want. You want to throw in another player? You want to throw in draft picks?
Well, you have to be specific.
Okay. Brown, Holiday. It depends on who we're dealing with, too, because like you said, there's idiots, just like there are in the NFL, that are going to be drafting up there. A second round pick. I'm trying to think who else will I do away with.
I think that if you put JB and Drew together and you package two,
say maybe
first,
2 first. All right, so we'll do JB, Drew, 2 first round picks to whoever the hell is at number 1. You jump up and you draft Cooper Flagg. And people are like, well, and there's a couple people that just joined, so just to rewind it real quick. I, as a Celtics fan, would trade Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, 2 first round picks to whoever the hell number 1 is, get the number 1 pick in the draft coming up, and draft Cooper Flagg. That is a generational player. Again, shout out Cerrone Battle, same mental process here. You that you're not going to find somebody like that for a while. You get him on this team with Jason Tatum and whoever you have to find replacements. Duh, we understand this. But that kid from Oregon last night, Shelstad, that's a solid dude right there. It's a scorer. Get him on there with D White. You obviously have to find a replacement for Brown, but we can do that. And my only thing with Brown, with Jaylen, is yes, did he show up last year? Yes. Yes. Is he gonna be a big part of this championship run that's about to happen? Probably.
Would probably be the right time. It would be the perfect time.
You're not gonna get a better time.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're not gonna get a better time to trade Jaylen and get something respectable back. You're basically trading Jaylen Brown for Cooper Flagg. And Jaylen, at the end of his contract, let's be real. Let's all be real. He's gone. He's going to leave.
So before you even get
Yep.
there, I don't know if
And I'll
so. The only
give you why after
the
you.
the only reason why I'm even entertaining this is
See, you said no at first. Now I got you thinking about it a little bit. Go
no
ahead.
because I didn't know what you were going to say. I didn't know that Jaylen Brown was going to be a part of
Yes.
it.
Oh yeah.
Because if he wasn't, I would have called you extremely delusional.
No,
But
the only person that I'm not trading on this team
it's Tatum,
is Jason Tatum.
obviously.
Tatum stays.
Um,
Everybody else, free game.
so I think that now, obviously, this Grosberg dude, Wick Grosberg, who just bought the Celtics.
Oh,
I'm not
well,
sure. I'm
Wick
not.
is the owner now. You talk about
I
the
mean,
guy from Georgetown.
yeah, the dude who
Okay.
fucking who just bought them.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see his name. Celtics, the new owner, Bill Chisholm. Excuse me. Um, he just bought the C's, and he's not invested in sports like that. I'm assuming that all the reports are coming out stating that he's gonna buy a house out here. He's gonna be, he wants to go to the
He's a
games.
Celtics
Uh,
fan.
yeah, I mean, so
He's also a businessman.
yes. So that to my point, like, is he going to want to take on the luxury tax? So obviously, the business move would be to wait until the lottery comes and see who ends up with that number one overall pick, and then start flirting and throwing the idea around like, hey, listen, you can take on Jaylen Brown, who is a top 15 player in the NBA, already
Yeah.
superstar status,
Yep.
phenomenal man.
Yep.
Uh, no
Nothing
no
against him.
issues, no issues, no injuries, nothing
No,
about him outside of what the bullshit political
that
things that
I
come
don't
along
even
with
bring. I
him.
don't bring that into
Yeah.
it. That's got no
So
bearing on why I want him
J-
gone.
Jaylen Brown will be, and it's you know the hard thing about it is they would, like, he's obviously he signed long term, obviously, with the highest
Hmm.
contract in the NBA. But this whole thing will be structured around the luxury tax. And if you utilize that properly,
Hmm.
can you obtain the number one overall pick to a team such as the Jazz, or a
The
team such as
Wizards.
the Wizards? Possibly. I mean, anything's possible.
You know what's funny too is you
Especially,
can trade Jalen. Say the Jazz are the number one. Bury him in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
You see him twice. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do that so you don't have to play him multiple times. So he can. I mean, because granted, he's going to have a game against you, and everybody's going to say, "Hey, traded Jaylen Brown. Look what he's doing tonight."
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, he's a dog.
okay, but we have Cooper Flagg
Yeah.
now, and him and Tatum are fucking going off. So
We got Cooper Flagg on a rookie deal. So it's not
with
as far
Tatum,
fetched.
and I'm saying Tatum
Yeah.
and him, they've been at the basketball camp together. Coop went to Tatum's camp.
Mm-hmm.
They have that connection. Obviously, they're both Dookies. I'm just saying.
Will the Celtics
No,
unretire the number 2 for
no,
Coop?
no. Sorry, Coop. You gotta pick another. You gotta pick another number, buddy. You can't. You can't even have this one. So think of a think of a number between 1 and 100 and pick that one because you're not getting 2. You're not getting 32, and he knows that. And obviously, this is all
For sure, but it's
sunshine and rainbows
not
type deal.
it's not as
It's
far fetched as it.
not as far fetched as
Yeah.
you may think because what if the Celtics win the title this year? Now you got 2. Tatum and Brown have 2. Then that gets you thinking. People get like honestly, and I feel this in my heart. Jason Tatum wants to stay here. I believe wholeheartedly that Jason Tatum wants to be a legacy player for the Celtics.
For sure.
At first,
Absolutely.
I didn't. I really didn't. I
It
thought
was definitely. I definitely thought it was Jaylen Brown.
I thought it was Jaylen, and I
It
thought
was
Jason
Jaylen.
would walk. Now it flip flopped.
Yeah,
Because
with the talent that Tatum has, and
not even the talent. That's like an added piece. I'm talking about how Tatum has embraced the Celtics, like the aura of the Celtics. He's like the fans. He's talking about how loud it is, and when they go on the road, it's unreal how many green shirts he sees or jerseys. And he was like, obviously the comment that stuck out to me is when we go on the road, I have to play those games because there are people in the stands wearing my jersey.
Yeah.
Like they came to see me. There's people buying Christmas presents for their kids, spending all this money to come see me. I have to play. That for me, that solidifies it. That's like rock solid.
Yeah.
Bang. Boston Celtic for life. Jaylen Brown hasn't really given me that notion feeling lately. At first he did. He got me when he made the comment about the fans in the playoffs a couple years ago. Where it was like step up or something like that. Where it's like it was the Philly series, I believe, when we lost the first game to them. I was like, well, the crowd wasn't really that loud. Well, asshole, did you give them any reason to be loud?
Yeah.
That irked me. That set me. I was a Jaylen fan, even through all the mind-numbing turnovers and the dribbling into traffic. As you can see, it doesn't irritate me at all. I'm not
And
clenching
then no left hand.
And a stupid shot selection at multiple times. It didn't irk me because I'm like he's talented and him and Jason Tatum just they go together. It's peanut butter jelly. Then it all went downhill for me after that. And obviously last year he stepped up in the finals. I'm not discrediting Jaylen Brown for anything. I'm just saying that Cooper Flagg is a generational talent. He's from the area. He's a New England boy. What a story it would be to have him play on the Celtics with Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
And who knows? Who knows what that could bring? It's a different kind of dynamic.
I think that's
it's something
when it comes to
you're not going to see with Tatum and Flagg.
I think because of the new ownership and the business side of things, and still having to, not jump into, because when people would when the news was announced that the Celtics were for sale,
Yep.
people were con- people. It was rumored that Jeff Bezos was gonna
Uh, that
buy
would have
them
been
and
that's a no-no.
obviously make, and of course not, and then obviously make like the Amazon Center or the Amazon
Mhm.
Arena and stuff like that. And it's
Or the
like,
Fenway Sports Group. Like, no.
yeah,
You ruined the Red
facts.
Sox. No.
So
Steer clear from the fucking Celtics. I'll stand in front of the God and be like, no,
yeah.
no.
So with
So
with the
thank God.
business, and honestly, 6.1 billion was kind of like, it kind of shocked me because I thought that was a little on the low side.
Yeah, I did too. When I
Um,
saw it, I was like,
especially coming off a championship with a roster that is already intact.
for 4 years.
But goes to show, the business aspect of it. It's like, okay, like this person just spent $6.1 billion in cash,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that is now erased
Mm-hmm.
from their account. I don't know what this dude's net worth is, and
I
I'm not going to look it up. Um,
don't know. It's gonna piss
but
you off.
but it's like, okay, he just made a purchase for $6.1 billion after the previous owner purchased the Celtics for 300 million.
Mm-hmm.
So what a sale.
Yeah.
But it's like the luxury tax is going to be a major focal point moving forward with this team. And obviously you have two players with, you have two generational players um on NBA record setting contracts, but but if you add a third generational player
Mm-hmm.
in Cooper Flagg and eliminate one of those contracts to one and substitute the other with a rookie deal, it's almost like, who else do you want for this
And you
trade
can
to
get
happen?
and you can acquire players.
You
You don't have to
can
acquire,
acquire a top you can acquire a potentially top 25 player. I
and
mean,
you could add them
like
into the
with
mix. It's
with the
just
with the talent that's in the NBA right now, I don't think it's going to be hard for Coop
no.
to
Can
become a
you?
top.
But can you imagine? It's like the NFL effect where we say the Patriots don't have that smell to them, where it's like, yeah, I want to play there. People that see Jason Tatum and Cooper Flagg on the same team, don't you think people are going to be busting down the doors to try and play in Boston? You shit me?
Going to be watching
Like,
going to be watching Celtics game from home for the next 20 years because it's going to be impossible to get a ticket.
can you imagine the prices of tickets if Cooper Flagg ever made his way onto the Boston Celtics? Like,
And they don't even own the arena.
no,
They rent
they
it.
rent it. So I am definitely re-upping my 10 game plan because there's a discount in there. Um, I've already done it, but I will be re-upping that 10 game thing for a while because if that ever happens. But again, it's all for fun. It's all for theory. But like you just said, it's not as far-fetched as you may think.
No.
There is a way to make that work and you don't really lose a step. And like I said, if you don't think guys are going to want to come to Boston to play with Jason Tatum and Cooper Flagg,
And try and the ability to try and get to 20 banners.
drop a banner. Let's you just another one. Boston Celtics. However many championships that you have at the time, you'll have 19. Hopefully. Hopefully. Boston in itself.
New England.
New England. So you don't, when you join a team here, you don't just join the team, you join the region. And you're playing with top 5 player in the NBA. And when Coop gets drafted, he's already what? Top 20?
Respectfully, yeah.
Top 20, respectfully. You're playing with 2 top 20 players in the NBA already.
And not to discredit anything again, obviously,
And I'm not, no, I'm not trying to shit
JB's
on
my
Jaylen Brown.
dog. JB's my dog, but like the intangibles that Coop
The whole fucking state of
had
Maine will be
like
at every Celtics game.
yeah, like
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
it's he's so established and well rounded. It's like it took JB a couple years to get to this point, but Coop is,
Ready.
you know,
Yeah.
he's and who knows, there's it's just how, like how much higher can his ceiling get, which is a problem. One of the issues that I have, I think that his upside is kind of a little on the lower end just because he's such an established player and he has been for
That's true.
years.
That's true.
Um,
I do think if he goes to a team like Utah, Washington, whoever, insert shitty team here, that it's got a good chance of that happening because you don't have that. It's not
yeah,
Duke.
on the shitty on the insert shitty team here, it'll be like the Luca effect with the Mavs.
You have Luca slash Coop and nothing else,
That's it.
and you're gonna
Yeah,
be cellar dwellers forever. No matter if you have Cooper Flagg, whoever, you're not
like
winning a
think
championship.
about it. Luca has he's been in the league what 6 7 years
Yeah,
and still not. I mean, yeah, he's a top 5 or has been top 5 player in the NBA, but
yeah,
he's never he hasn't won an MVP. And you can say all you want, but like I mean, even but Tatum hasn't either, but he obviously is on a more well-rounded team.
right.
Um, so it's
And
like,
he's doing things now that discredit him from being the MVP because the
of
MVP
course,
is all about flash.
for sure, yeah. I mean, and obviously this game, is solely about winning fucking championships
Right.
in a sense,
And
and obviously what team better than the Boston Celtics?
that's what I'm saying too. It's you find a way onto the Celtics. You've got all the family shit already. Then it's the Celtics.
Yeah.
Then it's like you're trying to drop banner 20,
I
21
mean, if your mom and dad are diehard Celtics fans, I can't, and you grew up playing ball your whole life, there's
in the
no
region.
way that you're not a diehard Celtics
Yeah,
fan at heart.
he's already said he is, and he loves Jason Tatum.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not
You
as
know what?
far fetched.
Even if so, even if obviously it's not going to happen with the draft pick. That's why I do want him to go to a shitty team. That's why I do want the Wizards or the Jazz to get him because there's only so much of that you can take. So this option, so the Celtics, if the Celtics obviously there's 0.000000001 chance that this ever happens, but it's not out of the realm. Even if Coop goes to Utah, insert shitty team, because he could get very tired very quick,
For
and
sure.
then Brad, and we all know how Brad Stevens works, and didn't even think about this until now. Who's calling the shots for Utah?
That's a
Who's
great
calling the
point.
shots for Utah?
Sheesh.
Mr. Danny Ainge.
Yeah, man, I didn't even think of that.
I'm just saying
I'm
it
curious
lines up.
how. I'm curious their relationship, Angel and hmm,
Kevin McHale gifted us Kevin Garnett.
gifted.
Gifted. Did you not? He
He.
was supposed to go. He
I
was
know,
supposed
I know,
to.
I know, I know. But gifted is kind of. I still think gifted is kind of a. It's something
Well,
easier than that.
oh, all right. Well, whatever easier way you could give Kevin Garnett to us, hand it to us on a silver platter. You
Yeah,
did it because
he
KG
put
was
him on a
supposed to go.
private jet.
KG was supposed to go play with Kobe,
Yeah,
and Kevin McHale said, "No, nah, we're having none of that. You're going to
yeah,
Boston." And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. I'm just saying, even if he goes to Utah, hopefully Utah. I'm rooting for him to go to Utah if miracles don't happen, because there's still a chance, and the Celtics will be set up for years to come. I'm just saying,
yeah.
but that's the hot
Crazy,
take.
crazy take, but it is hot and
That's why we do
not as
this.
far fetched
That's why
as
we do
people
this
think.
thing. Um, yeah. So to wrap up March Madness, you want to throw some picks out there, or maybe we can get
Um,
to the final thing, because the final thing has to be said.
so
You
let's.
want to end it with the picks?
No. We're good. We're good.
Okay. Oh, you just look at.
I'll
Okay, I didn't know if you like debating whether.
um. So Auburn, Michigan.
In my bracket, I have Auburn. I was teetering on this matchup when I was picking my bracket, because I was so close in picking Michigan to beat Auburn. So like so I had it. I had Michigan advancing, and then I changed it back to Auburn. I want madness. I want upsets. I want insanity. I want Mach to become Mach again. And I sounded so Boston there, and I don't care. Michigan, give me the Wolverines to knock off Auburn and create some sort of madness here. Please. Michigan, 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 Michigan.
Wow.
I don't trust Bruce Pearl. The Creighton did a good, a number on them in the first half, and they kind of came back in the second half there, and Auburn pulled away at the end. Broom's a great player, man. Take nothing away from him, and if they advance, he's going to obviously be a huge part in why they advance and um, take the Sweet 16 game. But I'm rooting for chaos. So Michigan.
Wow. Damn. I'm rocking with Auburn, man. I don't think that. I mean, we'll see. I mean, Michigan lit up Texas A&M, boy. I mean,
Mm-hmm. That guard
they
is
lit.
is
They,
nobody
yeah,
to, you can't play with him.
yeah. So,
And they got size.
um,
They've got shooters. That's a recipe for an upset. They've already up. Five
definitely a
four is really not an upset, but on.
definitely a recipe for
So
disaster.
I think Bruce Pearl stays true to form, and Auburn takes a nice little exit. See you later.
The
Bye bye.
options. All right, all right. Well, that's going to be interesting in the text thread. So, Ole Miss and Michigan State.
Ole Miss is hot.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Ole Miss for sure.
Ole Miss is hot. They are talented. Paducah, another Paducah guard. He can shoot, but I'm not going against Tom Izzo.
Izzo.
Michigan State.
Okay. All
Michigan
right.
State sets up a Michigan State Elite Eight.
Imagine. All right, moving down, we got Florida and Maryland.
The minute the minute not even the minute, the fucking second that I pick against these assholes, they're gonna win. So I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It took the miracle shot for Maryland to get here. Colorado State
Yeah,
had that game, and I do think Florida. I think the UConn game is honestly a wake up call. Um, so I'm taking the Gators.
I think it'll be a phenomenal game for as far as superstars to shine
Of course.
with Queen and
Well,
Clayton Jr.
can he repeat his performance against UConn? Can
I mean,
can
he's this
can they
is
make
what
a fucking free
yeah.
throw?
Well, with Clayton Jr., it's I mean obviously as you know, and everybody that is a March Madness fan, this tournament is about guard play,
Yeah.
and he's obviously the best guard in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Um, back to back games with 23 plus. Um, and I don't think Maryland really has an answer for him. Which is why I think that he'll light up the floor
I
again.
think you
But I
see what Florida was supposed to be in
yeah.
this game.
And then Queen will do his thing, but I think this will probably be a runaway
Mm-hmm.
game for Florida, especially,
Mm-hmm.
going down to the
Mm-hmm.
wire and
I think it woke them up. I think they realize.
realizing, they almost removed themselves from the tournament. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so
Yeah,
we
I take the Gators.
finally agree on that. And then lastly, on this side of the bracket, we got Texas Tech and Arkansas.
Tech.
Yeah, I don't know if
That
so
Texas Tech is deep.
they're very yeah, and
They've got
not
they've got scores and perimeter defense. Um, Arkansas benefited obviously from some very questionable calls. They won the game. I'm not taking anything from them, but
for sure. And it also took, the team's best player to shit the bed. So,
so
um,
I'm riding with Texas
yeah,
Tech.
I think Texas Tech is definitely gonna get these guys out of here early. Um, and back up top, we got Duke and AZ.
Duke.
Obviously you got Duke. I'm taking Duke because I want to see a Duke Houston finish
No,
for the
Final
Final
Four.
Four. Um, so next we'll go BYU and Bama.
Bama.
Um, hmm.
Bama hasn't shown up yet, but I think they show up in this one. BYU is hot. I wouldn't be surprised if they upset Bama
Yeah.
and move on to play, as we both said, Duke. But I don't know. I like that Duke Bama Elite Eight game.
I mean,
Smells right.
this is the upset of the tourney that up to this point where I'm
Listen, I picked Michigan,
I'm kind
so
of swaying I'm swaying towards BYU in this one.
yeah.
You Bama, they just haven't really shown me anything
No,
that's
no,
like, and I just can't. Bama being a two seed just doesn't really sit right
yeah,
with me. So,
sure, pick it.
rocking with BYU. Houston, Purdue. Um,
Houston.
I'm gonna roll with Houston. I don't, motherfuckers is rolling, and they're just so
Yeah,
well rounded.
yeah.
They're great, phenomenal. Whether it's recruiting or NIL, somebody's doing something
I mean, Kelvin
remarkable in
Sampson
this.
is a very, very smart man.
I
So,
mean, they're doing some amazing
hmm
things in Houston. And then lastly, uh, you know, SEC showdown with Kentucky and Tennessee. Obviously, a big rival. Um, how you feeling?
I hate them both. Uh, Kentucky basketball because I went to the SEC. Well, I didn't really go to the SEC tournament. I was in Nashville at the same time as the tournament. My first time going to Nashville, which I wanted to go, but didn't get there. That's all you got to know about that. Uh, anyway, we were a part of it. It was awesome. The fans were there, and Kentucky has the most annoying fucking fans. One of the most annoying fan bases I've ever
I could
I've ever had to
imagine.
deal with. They're sideways, man. I don't. That's the only way I know how to describe them is they're fucking sideways. Again, Rocky Top is a thorn in fucking Alabama football side. I hate that goddamn song.
Yeah.
Um, but and my buddy is a closet Vols fan, even though he says he's a Bama fan. But you know who you are, Joe. Um, ugh. Can I root for the asteroid in this one again? Like the Super Bowl? Can I root for the asteroid? No. I got to make a pick. Fuck. Tennessee.
Yeah,
Tennessee
yeah.
because I like the state of Tennessee. I love Nashville. Obviously, it's nowhere close to Nashville, but and my guy Morgan Wallen is a Balls fan, and I love Morgan's music. Dude, about to drop one of the biggest albums in May, 37 song album.
Wow.
So I'm rolling with Morgan Wallen's Balls.
I got Tennessee too.
So, and then we'll just leave it there and call it for the Elite Eight.
Yeah, yeah. We'll
And then
transition.
we'll see
We'll
what happens, and
transition
then we'll
for
keep it
sure.
going. All right.
Absolutely.
And then what needs to be mentioned is obviously March Madness comes with memories on the court, but obviously there's other things that come with it. And goddamn, this tournament between the friggin' Abracadabra Gaga song on every commercial break, and that fucking song is imprinted in my brain, and that's all I hear. Dude, no lie, was in the kitchen the other day, and I'm like, it was in between, and I heard it, and it just came out. I was like, Abracadabra. God, I was like, God damn it. Fuck. So that song can kick rocks. It's too catchy, and yeah, but I get it. The abracadabra. It's March
Of
Madness.
course. Yeah. Wait till you get kids though.
Oh,
You'll be blurting
I
out
know.
shit.
Trust me. It's I, I might not I might not have kids yet, but
It's
between
just
cousins
you getting
and
prepared.
between cousins and other people's kids that I've dealt with, I'm good. I'm set up. I know what's coming. Trust me, I know what's coming. And this is why I always keep a nice fresh bottle somewhere near me for those purposes. But anyway, so abracadabra. It's catchy, but let's pump the brakes. It's every commercial break.
It is
Two,
annoying.
I don't know where this little fucker came back from. I don't know where they found him. I don't know whose decision it was to resurrect this thing. But why is the pig back? I thought the pig cried wee 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 all the way home, and I thought we threw him in the air fryer, and we got some real high quality bacon. We need to do that again. Somebody take that pig and stick him in the air fryer again because that commercial is on every. It feels like it's every commercial break,
I'm
and
telling you.
I'm like, oh when it was popular back in the day, back a couple years ago, the same feeling. Like it was funny at first. Yeah, Maxwell. Now it's just like, oh man, I wanna. The TV's expensive, but I want to put my hands through the TV and grab the pig.
I'm telling you, man, you got to get the YouTube TV. Just
So,
click.
but that's two. And the third March Madness thing that's obviously grinding my gears is fucking Gene Steratore. Like, man, sometimes when he talks, I'm just like, stick to football.
Yeah,
Like just,
that every time I said it
well,
every time.
this is where it goes, and this is how I see it. The ball went off his finger, and when it goes off his, but he just shut up. Just,
That's a,
just you sound like an idiot.
that's a greater issue in and
Oh
Billis mentioned this too. He's like,
God,
we got to go to 4 quarters, man, because
I'm thinking that too.
the
I'm thinking that
fouls
too.
reset. These guys, it seems like every single time, like every time you watch a game, it's like these guys are at the monitor. These guys are at the monitor. These guys are at the
It's
monitor,
it's
and it's
it's
so
too
frustrating.
much.
It's
There's so
frustrating.
many delays. There's so many stoppages, and then
Yeah.
everybody knows when there's a replay, when there's a challenge, when there's a review. Oh, Gene, what do you think? Well,
Yeah.
I think. Oh my God.
It's like, how much is he making?
Oh, dude. And you see that little box with his little picture on the top
Yeah,
of the screen. You just
yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah,
fucking.
yeah. Yes.
So obviously, Gene Steratore has a big hold on Patriots fans because he was the head ref in Super Bowl 52 when we lost to the Eagles. Very big questionable calls in that game. Clement back in the end zone. Um,
Terrible,
Zach Ertz may or may not have caught the ball at the end there, but needless to
terrible.
say, complete pain in the ass. And can we just get another rules analyst, please? Anybody?
Yeah,
Somebody?
or
Someone
just
that's
take
tied to
just
basketball. First of all, why is Gene
yeah,
Steratore
yeah,
doing
yeah.
the NCAA tournament? Why? Because
Facts.
he works
Like
for
there's not
CBS. He works for
there,
CBS now, and he does fucking everything, and he's a referee.
there's a slew of people that are basketball minds that
Oh,
have no idea. Neutral parties
oh my God,
that
dude.
are very educated in this and the rules in the sport that they do not need to be a. People make it seem like he refed NBA games. Like, get out of here.
Like, stop,
Like,
stop. Now
yeah,
we don't need you. You were that much tolerable in the NFL. You used a fucking index card to measure a first down. Uh, we don't need you commenting on basketball, please.
no,
Like,
at all.
no.
Especially at
Um,
this stage.
Man, I also want to point out for CBS too. I was watching the Oregon Arizona game, and I completely apologize for forgetting her name. But the female play by play commentator last night, really good job. It brought some gusto to the game that I really wasn't expecting because of Doris Burke
Hmm.
and how much when I watch Doris Burke, my ears, I can feel the blood running out of my ears.
Yeah, I didn't. I used to be very big on Doris, and now that she's in the position that
Oh
she's
my
in,
God.
I'm just like, I cannot stand her.
It's like, the meme or the gif where Squidward is at the cash register and Patrick's standing there
Yeah,
just like and Squidward's just smashing his head off the register.
yeah.
Every time Doris Burke starts talking, that's just me. Bang, bang, bang. Like just
I've reached that point as
so
well.
and there's multiple times that every time the fucking abracadabra song comes on and just this whole March Madness. So between March Madness not being as madness as it usually is, excuse me, um, And these three things that I just mentioned, the abracadabra, the fucking pig,
On top of
and
obviously,
Gene.
the way Gene, but also, just to sum it all up, obviously the NIL, obviously there's a lot of
And it's
things that
ruining.
need to
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
you know, let's take the off season off and
Let's reassess. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Let's NCAA facts.
we got some
Take a step back.
we got a lot of work to do.
Let's reassess what's going on here because this isn't a good
We got
product.
a lot of work to do.
This isn't a good product. Granted, like, yes, Duke is very talented and they're stacked, but you don't want to see it.
Yeah,
I definitely don't want.
they're
Do
not
you
the
think,
first that team.
as a Tar Heel fan, do you really think I want to put Duke as my national championship in my fucking bracket?
Yeah.
No, I don't. But
You can split the state of North Carolina in half
facts.
right now.
And
Legitimately.
I had to because, uh, yeah. So regardless, like the NIL, just we need to really reassess this because
College sports
it's
in general
it's not
gotta
good.
they're
It's not good.
you know
It's not a good
yeah,
product, and it's just not fun to watch. It's
yeah.
just kind of like, well,
And everybody knows
yeah.
it. Everybody knows it.
So, but with all that said, um, I give one more shout out to Coop. Just keep doing you, man. Keep playing your game. I have never seen a guy that tall. Just he's a floor general. There was times where they showed him where he was moving guys. He was pointing at spots when he was up at the top of the key. Where he's at the 3-point line, he's telling guys where to go. He's in position. And like if you missed it earlier, if you're just joining, he belongs and needs to be in green.
Kid is special for sure.
But
Kid is special for
yeah,
sure.
I wouldn't have bought this very oversized jersey from China if I didn't want to support one of the regionals. So yeah, Coop, you're lucky you're from Maine, man, because
Yeah, good luck. Good luck, kid.
yeah, that's all I can say.
Good luck, kid.
But yeah, so if you're just joining us, tonight's your first podcast that you've come on to watch us. Thank you. If you've been rolling with us this whole time, we're literally season 2, episode 12. Thank you.
Much
We're
appreciated.
we're definitely forever grateful. Um, I got a lot of good feedback. I'll say this, live. I actually haven't even told you yet because I just noticed on camera, obviously with like clearing my throat every 5 fucking seconds and my goddamn nose, that my earrings and my chain are off still from the um, MRI thing that I got earlier
Oh
on my
yeah. Oh
on my
yeah.
head. So as I'm looking, I'm like, where the hell? There's no black in my ears. Fuck. So I forgot to put that shit on. But just real life shit. But going back to the real life shit, a lot of people reached out to me and kind of crediting you for coming on the show the day that you unfortunately had to lay Bodie to rest. Or put him to rest, I should say. um, so like you say all the time, this is a sports show, but it's more than a sports show. It's a show about life. It's a show about. That's why we called it "What's Up, Guy." You know,
Yeah, what's happening?
what's going on? What's going on in your life? Is it sports related? Is it not? Um, so we appreciate everybody for just tuning in, for participating. We know people have lives and they can't tune into every show. They can't tune into live shows, but we appreciate it all. Go check us out on YouTube. We post every episode after we're done with the live shows. So if you can't, if you missed something, if you missed our hot take tonight, um, hit YouTube. Uh, Hopefully we'll have it uploaded tonight. If not, definitely tomorrow, and we'll post on the page. when we have everything uploaded and ready to roll. But we're still working. You know, we got some big things coming.
For sure.
Shirts.
Rolling.
Still
Yeah,
rolling with
rolling.
some shirt orders.
Yeah,
Appreciate every single one of you that have bought a Peyton Pritchard 99 Problem shirt. Derek mentioned a few times we're making some tweaks to the Tatum one, so that's not available at the moment. But I love what's being produced for that.
for sure,
So
for
props
sure.
to you. I got to give you props because that was you.
Yeah,
That is phenomenal. That is a
shout out to
phenomenal edit, and I can't
yeah, I
wait to share
mean
that.
yeah, Jeff had full color for working with us, creating the t-shirts, and this working relationship.
Yeah,
Shout out
thank
to
you, buddy.
Ray Santana Designs for, continuously helping us put out the best product for, the customers. And
Yeah.
we got some adjustments that we're making, but merch will be
Mm-hmm.
available upon request,
Yep. If you haven't bought
just like
one,
just
yep.
like every other shirt and just like every other, pod or, show that you follow or you support. We're definitely gonna have some heat, coming up in the
Definitely.
future.
But we got some.
So stay tuned for that. And obviously, up until May, all proceeds will be going to Team Drake May and the Best Buddy organization. So that's just for our fundraiser. We already got like 4 or 5 shirts, rolling right
Mhm.
now. So
Ready to
you know,
roll.
the Celtics, playoffs are right around the corner. So if you want to, if you go, whether you're going to a game or you're hosting a game or an event at your home, and you just want to have something different from everybody else, please reach out.
Yeah.
Please place an order. It's going to an amazing cause,
Yep.
the Best Buddy organization. If you're not familiar with it, do your little research. But it's all proceeds going towards the betterment and development of people with special needs. Um, yeah, with that being said, everybody that reached out to you personally after the last episode, and everybody that continues and has continued to showcase their love and support. Obviously had to put my guy down. It's been a rough couple days. I won't sugarcoat it. It sucked. Today I had to uh, basically clear the house out of all of his stuff. Um, so, yesterday my son, he after playing outside, he went up to his crate, and basically talking as if he was still there. So that kind of broke me down. So today after school, after I dropped him off at school, I had to get it out of the house because I couldn't do that. That shit broke me down. And I just had to. Today was rough, but we're getting there. I appreciate you for this. Just doing this show. It's really something I look forward to, and it's an escape from reality. And the fact of the matter is that life goes on, and just continue to put yourself around love and people that truly care about you, that truly want to see you win.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't thank you enough, dog. I can't
What I'm
thank
here
y'all
for.
enough for the support. We're just trying to put out the best product for everybody, and just be as real and genuine, as authentic as possible.
Thanks.
Um, because we all we all need a little break. We all need a little escape. And this is our.
Real shit.
So
I'm the same way, man. Every time we decide to do a show, it's all I think about all day. Like, what can we talk about? What are we gonna
right,
do?
right.
Obviously, if I can wear some shit on here to kind of not just this, but to promote whatever, and we'll definitely have some stuff coming down, like like we said, and we just appreciate y'all for sure. And we I know we tend to talk about the Drake May thing a lot, and the team Drake May, but it's not obviously we obviously getting to meet Drake and gonna hanging out with him again in May is gonna be awesome. But it is definitely more than that.
For sure.
It's the best
Yeah.
buddies. It's just our opportunity just to give back, and all the proceeds really, like, whether you want to believe it or not, we don't see a cent. Everything, once you pay for that shirt, it goes directly to Team Drake May. And Draco, I might talk about him a lot, but when when you go through something like I have, um, you start to question everybody. And for people obviously that don't know yet, recently officially divorced. It's been a long 2 years, and you question everybody's value to you, their connection to you. Um, so when you find somebody genuine and like a role model type, and you hold on to, like, we all have our favorite athletes. Um, but this kid day one just won me over, and obviously he's a quarterback for the Patriots. Um, just an awesome dude, and just somebody that I kind of like want to be like, just a humble person, and it's kind of like somebody that you want your friend to be. And then obviously, meeting, getting this rolling, and you and I getting this rolling back. You when you see the genuineness in somebody, you you just want to make it known. You know what I mean? You want to, like, put it out there and be like, dude, like, this guy, you need to support this guy. You need to and for what it's worth. But yeah, he's just phenomenal athlete, talented athlete, but a phenomenal human being. Getting to meet him was really humbling, and seeing how humble he was.
Thanks.
And that's why I praise the dude, not only because he's the quarterback of my favorite football team. It's just because he's just a good fucking dude. Drake, like, if you're watching out there, you're just a good fucking dude.
Yeah.
And can't wait to meet, to hang with you again in May here. Um, but yeah, so just to for what you said, one final wrap around here. Um, the people that are good to you, man, show them the love and support that they deserve. And the people that just don't have any worth in your life for whatever reason, whether it's a breakup, whether it's, you know, friendship that kind of dies down, and, people taking advantage of you, don't take that shit. We only get so much time on this earth. Live it. Really live it and enjoy it, and enjoy with the people that are going to elevate you, and don't just squash you down, or bitch at you, or complain, or, like,
Yeah.
make fun of everything that you say, or you, like, just to say, like, oh, like Coop. Like, I'm praising Coop right now because he's main, and I'm just trying to support him. Like, oh, you want Cooper Flag. Like, everything's about Cooper Flag. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You know, just how I am. When I see somebody that I want to support, I support the hell out of them because I'm loyal to somebody. Um, and I'm
Reciprocate that
loyal to this.
energy that is,
I choose to
given to
use
you.
my energy in a way I choose to use my energy. And if y'all don't like it, TFB. But, the realest of the real is right here. Again, I'll probably end a lot of shows like this. Can't thank you enough for being there and every step of the way for me.
Likewise, bro.
And it's
For real.
just we're rolling. And yeah,
Making
just
shit happen.
can't
Making
wait.
shit happen.
But it's going to wrap up the March Madness episode. We hope everybody enjoyed it out there. Thank you for joining tonight. Join us later this week. We have something else cooked up, potentially another special guest hopping on. So stay tuned for that. buy your shirts, support the pod, like, subscribe, all of that. We can't thank you enough. We love y'all, and we'll see you next time.
Peace and love, y'all.
Let's go, Coop.